Welcome to the deep dive. This is where we take source material, often complex stuff, and really pull out the key insights for you. We want to help you get informed, maybe even see things a little differently. Today, we're doing something a bit different. We're taking this really rich narrative source and treating it almost like a factual account, like a case study, actually. And it offers these fascinating glimpses into human connection, into communication. Our mission today, it's to unpack this single really pivotal moment. It's this flash of unexpected intimacy, unexpected comfort, and it seems to just fundamentally change a relationship. We'll watch how actions, how dialogue, even the stuff not said, can rewrite the whole story between two people, as they deal with vulnerability, physical closeness, and this pretty surprising change in how they see each other. So get ready for maybe some aha moments about the power of warmth. Literal warmth, yes, but emotional warmth too, and how it can just tear down walls. Okay, let's unpack this scene. We meet one of our subjects, we'll call her Mara, and she is in a really, really bad state. The source paints this incredibly vivid picture. She says she can barely feel my toes, her teeth are chattering. She's described as more blanket than human, her lips are blue, and she actually says, I'm gonna die of hypothermia. It's not just, feeling a bit cold. This is serious. So this extreme physical discomfort, what does that tell us right off the bat about her state, and why is that so important for what happens next?
Yeah, it's immediately striking, isn't it, how profoundly vulnerable this makes it. This isn't like mild discomfort. Her body is genuinely losing the fight to stay warm. We could call it profound thermal dysregulation. Her mentioning hypothermia is not just dramatic language. It grounds her experience in a very real, almost primal threat. And when we're in the kind of physical distress, our usual social guards, they tend to drop. Our most basic needs, safety, comfort, they just come right to the surface. It creates this kind of space where the normal rules don't quite apply. And it makes her incredibly open, really, to any kind of genuine warmth, whether it's physical or emotional. We also see her trying to fix it herself, right? Calling the guy, checking fuses, which that speaks to this desire for independence, even when she's literally freezing.
Right, she's not passive. Even with blue lips, she's trying to do something. Okay. But then the other subject, Liam, he comes in, and his initial reaction is, well, it's not exactly what you'd call sympathetic, is it? He just observes her, lips pressed together in what looks a lot like amusement. He even teases her about a baby seal fur coat. That feels like a pretty sharp contrast to how vulnerable she is.
Yeah, it really is.
What's that telling us about their dynamic before this moment?
Well, it brings up a really interesting question, doesn't it? How do we react to vulnerability in others, especially people we have a, let's say, complicated history with?
Yeah.
Liam's amusement, that teasing.
Yeah.
It could be a few things, Maybe it's a coping mechanism, like for awkwardness. Or maybe it's a bit of a challenge, or just reflects their usual way of interacting banter, even if it's kind of tense.
Like a pattern they're stuck in.
Exactly. It signals that their relationship isn't built on immediate open warmth. There are layers there. Maybe past arguments, unresolved stuff. Or, like Moore hints at later, this kind of deep-seated antagonism. The humor, in that moment, it almost acts like a shield, for both of them, maybe, temporarily pushing away how serious her condition is right before he acts.
Humor as a shield, that's interesting. Okay, but then, and this is where it gets really interesting, I think. Despite that teasing, Liam just flips. He says, decisively, come here. And he doesn't even wait for her to answer. He just picks her up, snuggies and all, and puts her on his lap. It's this total physical override of the situation. What makes that specific action, that almost forceful comfort, such a catalyst here?
Oh, it's absolutely pivotal. Because it's this decisive act, right? It's nonverbal. And it offers this profound comfort that just bypasses everything else. All the intellectual stuff, the social barriers, their history, gone in that moment. Mara's first reaction, her spine stiffening, muscles tensing, that tells you this is not their usual dynamic. It's unexpected, a breach almost.
Yeah, total surprise.
But then that tension immediately gives way to just relief, pure physical relief. You get those sensory details, right? Deliciously toasty, his skin smells familiar and good. It shows the incredible, almost instant effect of physical warmth and closeness on us, physiologically and psychologically. When our body's under that kind of stress like Mara's was, that immediate, secure warmth from another person, it can trigger this really ancient, primal sense of safety.
Well, it's a basic human need.
Exactly, a need for secure attachment, and it just overrides any prior feelings, any intellectual resistance. It's like hitting a reset button for her nervous system.
Yeah.
Literally.
And Mara herself, even while she's shivering, she brings up the first law of thermodynamics. Energy can be neither created nor destroyed. She's marveling at how much heat he's giving off. It's kind of playful, but does it hint at something more?
Absolutely it does. Even in that moment of intense connection, her mind is still trying to find a rational hook for this really powerful physical feeling.
Yeah.
It kind of speaks to our human need to understand things, right? To make sense of the world. But metaphorically, it really highlights that energy in the form of comfort, of care. This is being transferred. It's not made or lost, but it definitely shifts between people. And it can totally transform emotional states. Liam's warmth isn't just physical heat, it's symbolic. It's an offering of his own energy, you could say. And it signals a much deeper level of care than his teasing suggested just moments before.
Right.
It's where science and emotion kind of meet, a physical law describing a very human exchange.
Okay, so this whole thing, it's not just about getting her temperature up. There's this really strong emotional undercurrent changing things. Mara admits it herself. A few months ago, I thought him cold. In every possible way. She says, back when I used to believe that I hated him. Now, just moments into this embrace, she's burrowing closer into his chest. She feels warmth and something else, unfamiliar and unidentifiable. That's a huge, fast shift in how she sees him. What does that tell us about how quickly our ideas about people can just crumble when faced with unexpected actions?
It's fascinating, isn't it, how fast that happens? That deeply ingrained negative perception she had, cold in every possible way, even hating him. That's a strong belief to hold.
Yeah, really strong.
Yet this shared vulnerability, her cold, his very direct physical, unconditional response, it just completely bypasses all that history, all that animosity. When she describes feeling warmth and something else unfamiliar and unidentifiable, that's more than just physical relief talking. It's her reevaluating him in real time, acknowledging that this person she thought she knew, this person she thought she hated, can actually generate not just heat, but this emotional comfort she can't even put a name on yet. It's a pretty profound insight, really, into how our judgments of others are often, quite superficial, built on limited interactions or ideas we already had, and how one single deeply felt experience can just totally dismantle those barriers. He's giving her this visceral sense of safety that goes way beyond their troubled past. Her body recognizes it before her mind can really process or label it.
That's such a great point. Her body knows before her brain does. And we also see these other, maybe more subtle signs of Liam caring. Things that challenge her old view. Like he remembers how she likes her steak, basically raw. And when she makes that joke about shark shapeshifters, his response isn't just playing along. It's this incredibly protective, almost tender line for how little they appreciate you.
Yes, those details.
What did those little things tell us, especially given their history, about maybe a deeper emotional investment?
That really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
How do these seemingly small details, these casual remarks, actually reveal something profound, something hidden? Remembering a steak preference, making that protective comment. These are like micro-expressions of attentiveness, of care.
Right, they show he's been paying attention.
Exactly. They show Liam has been observing her, listening, holding on to details about her, even when she thought he was heartless. These aren't big dramatic gestures. They're quiet little affirmations that he sees her, maybe understands her better than she ever realized. And it just chips away at her idea of him being cold. It suggests this hidden layer of observation, maybe even appreciation, that she's only just now noticing because her own guard is finally down.
Yeah.
It's proof, really, that tiny details can carry huge meaning in relationships. They can reveal true feelings under a guarded surface and force you to rethink everything.
It's like finding warmth in a place you assumed was totally frozen. Okay, so the tension here, it builds. It gets almost unbearable. Liam is staring at me too, studying me in that weighty, serious way he sometimes does. First my eyes and then my lips. And then we get that almost confession. Mara. His throat moves. He swallows. Just observing this, like as a factual moment of human interaction, what does it show us about the power of nonverbal cues and being right on the edge of vulnerability?
Oh, it's a masterclass in unspoken communication, a classic threshold moment, you could call it, in how people interact. That prolonged eye contact, the way he studies her lips, that physical hesitation, these are universal signs, aren't they? Signs of deep emotional stuff happening internally, the huge stakes of what might be about to be said.
Yeah, you can feel the weight.
You really can. And the fact that the silence itself is described as heavy, full, making Mara's heart race, her skin tingle, that tells you the absence of words right there is way more powerful than any casual chat could be. It forces both of them, and us, watching, to just sit in that uncomfortable charged space of what could be, what those unspoken words really mean. It's a reminder that sometimes the deepest connections are forged right in that silence, just before potential revelation, when all that anticipation just hangs in the air.
And then, bam, this incredibly private, suspended moment.
Mhm.
Shattered, loud knocking, the electricians arrived, and you can almost hear Mara's internal plea, please don't stay.
Yeah.
What does an interruption like that right at that critical point tell us about how fragile these moments are, but also maybe how lasting their impact is?
Well, interruptions like that, frustrating as they are for the people involved, often end up highlighting just how significant the disrupted moment really was. They kind of amplify it in retrospect.
Right, makes it stand out more.
Exactly. The sudden snap back to external reality. It makes the intimacy they just shared and those words that were almost spoken even more potent, more memorable. It sort of freezes that potential in time. Leaves Mara and leaves us, the listener, with this lingering feeling of what almost happened and what might happen now. It shows that these moments of deep connection can be really fragile, easily broken by everyday life barging in, but they're still incredibly impactful. And Liam's final action, carrying her to the entrance even after the spell is broken, that subtly reinforces his care, his physical presence. It suggests this intimacy wasn't just a one-off fluke.
Yeah, maybe a new beginning.
Maybe a potential new foundation for how they relate to each other.
So wrapping this up, what does this all mean for us watching this unfold? This whole deep dive into just one interaction, it really shows how profound change can happen. Through seemingly simple things like comfort and closeness, we saw shared vulnerability, a decisive physical act, these subtle cues, and how they can just rapidly tear down old ideas about someone and forge these new, kind of unidentifiable connections. It's not always about the big speeches, is it?
No, not at all. This deep dive really drives home that the most powerful communication often isn't verbal. It's in the warmth of a touch, remembering a small detail, just being quietly present in a way that offers comfort, or that shared silence that says so much. It really challenges us, I think, to look past first impressions, to look beyond the surface banter or the old arguments, and to really consider all the different ways, often very subtle ways, people show care and connection, even when their history might make you think otherwise. It pushes for a more nuanced view of relationships, where actions often do speak louder and more deeply than words.
It's such a powerful reminder that our bodies, the physical space we share with others, can be these incredible channels for emotional change. They can break down barriers we didn't even know were still standing and reveal completely new depths in our connections. So as you go about your day, here's something to think about. A provocative thought, perhaps. How often do we maybe unconsciously hold on to these really old fixed ideas about people when just one single unexpected act of genuine comfort or shared vulnerability could completely rewrite their story in our minds? Are we actually open enough to those moments, those surprising moments of warmth? Or do we let our old narratives kind of blind us to the possibility of a deeper, maybe even unidentifiable connection, something to mull over?